One thing that constantly annoys me when making music is headphone cables. Especially when working with grooveboxes and portable setups, the cable gets stuck somewhere. You move slightly too fast and suddenly the headphones get ripped off your head. And because of that, I always wanted a proper pair of wireless headphones for music production, but the problem is Bluetooth latency. Everybody knows it just doesn't really work when you're trying to play the instrument in real time. So when OneOdio contacted me and asked if I want to test their Studio Max 2 headphones with claimed 9 milliseconds ultra low latency, I got very curious. And I've now spent the last few days testing them with grooveboxes, drum machines, and portable music setups. And in this video, I just want to give my honest thoughts and first impressions. Just quickly before we continue, OneOdio did send these headphones out for me to review, but they have absolutely no control over what I say in this video. They don't get to review the video before it goes live, and no money is involved in this collaboration. So everything in this video is simply my honest experience after using them for the last few days. So before we jump into the actual testing, here's a quick overview of the product. These are the OneOdio Studio Max 2 wireless headphones. They support a claimed 9 millisecond ultra low latency wireless mode using their included M2 transmitter. You get up to 120 hours of battery life, support for regular Bluetooth, wired connections, custom EQ settings, and also support for higher quality codecs like LDAC in regular Bluetooth mode. But it's the low latency mode that got me interested. There are already some competing products on the market, but I think they are around 16 milliseconds of latency, which I think is really noticeable. I haven't tested them, so I can't really say, but 9 milliseconds sounds really promising. Let's test them. All right, so let's talk about the actual performance. Because honestly, this is the entire reason these headphones are interesting in the first place. And I have to say, this part genuinely impressed me. Normally, wireless headphones and real-time music production just don't mix very well. Even small amount of latency immediately start to feel disconnected when you're finger drumming. But with these, after a few minutes, I honestly kind of forgot they were wireless. I tested them with several different grooveboxes and portable setups, and overall, the latency performance was excellent. Finger drumming felt responsive, synth parts felt natural, and I never had that my brain is fighting the delay feeling that you usually get with Bluetooth audio. Now, there is one thing I need to mention though. Occasionally, on very sharp transients, like kick drums, snare, I noticed a strange artifact where a hit could sometimes sound slightly clipped, cut off, or almost double triggered. I tested this across multiple devices, including the OPXY, the Ableton Move, the Synths Deluge, and the MPC Live 3. So I just wanted to be transparent about that experience. I actually did some recording of this, so you can have a listen for yourself. So have a listen here. Yeah, as you can hear, it doesn't sound very nice. I mean, that's pretty annoying to use. I really hope they can fix that with some firmware updates. But Apart from that issue, the actual low latency performance here is honestly very impressive, especially considering the price, which is $189.99 US dollars and €189.99 euros. Alright, so let's talk about sound quality. So the sound quality is good. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. My initial thought when I tried them for the first time, I felt that they were a little bit over exaggerated in the low end. So they were kind of boomy in the mid bass sounds. It was just a little bit in your face. I know a lot of people get impressed by that. That's not me. I prefer a more focused and low profile bass. So when I first tried them, I was a little bit worried that there was no way to change this. But thankfully, the OneOdio app actually lets you customize the EQ. There are some built-in presets, but you can also create your own EQ curve. And for me, simply pulling down the 125 Hz regions slightly immediately cleaned things up and made the headphones sound much more balanced. And one thing I really like here is that the EQ settings are stored directly in the headphones themselves. So once you save your EQ curve, it carries over to the low latency mode as well, not just regular Bluetooth mode. And honestly, after adjusting the EQ a little bit, I really enjoyed making music with these. I tested these against the Sennheiser HD490 Pro, which are my preferred studio headphone. They are open back, which I also prefer. These are closed headphones. I mean, they sound quite different to the HD490s. But switching between them, it's not like I feel like these sound bad. Not at all. It's just a bit different. But of course, when I do mixing and mastering, I probably won't use these. That's not what they are meant for. But for portable music production with grooveboxes, synths, and general listening, they actually sound surprisingly solid. Okay, so let's talk about comfort. Because honestly, it doesn't really matter how good wireless headphones are if you actually don't want to wear them for long sessions. And thankfully, these are very comfortable. They are fairly lightweight, the ear pads are soft, and I never had the feeling of them aggressively clamping onto my head. I've been using them for several hours at a time while making music, and overall, they disappear pretty quickly, which honestly is exactly what you want from a studio headphones. So let's have a look at what's in the box. Obviously, you get the Studio Max 2 headphones, you get the M2 transmitter, you get the regular headphone cable, you get this cable that you connect to the transmitter and to your sound source, and also a USB-C cable that you charge both the headphones and the transmitter with. And you got this 1/4-inch adapter as well, which is nice. And you also get this really nice case to protect your headphones while you're traveling. Really nice and really sturdy. So if we focus on the headphones themselves, they swivel like this. They actually feel like really good quality, I would say. I really like the fabric here. It's soft and nice to the touch. The same material up here. So overall, what do I think about the Studio Max 2? Honestly, I went into this review pretty skeptical because wireless headphones for music production usually comes with a lot of compromises, especially when it comes to latency. But after spending a few days using these with grooveboxes and drum machines, I actually think OneOdio has done something pretty interesting here. The low latency performance is impressive. The sound quality is solid once adjusted a little bit with EQ. Battery life is kind of ridiculous. I haven't charged them yet. And overall, they're just very enjoyable to use for actual music making. Now, of course, they're not perfect. I did run into that occasional transient issue that I mentioned earlier, and I definitely think that's something worth being aware of. I really hope they fix this with some firmware updates, because that's pretty annoying. And no, these probably won't replace your high-end wired studio headphones for mixing and mastering work. But honestly, I don't really think that's the point of these headphones either. For portable music production with grooveboxes and synths, and also just to connect them to your mixer board in your studio and stop worrying about cables, that will give you so much more movement freedom in your studio. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Studio Max 2. Let me know down in the comments what do you think about wireless headphones for music production. Yeah, that's all I had. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.